rejected for being too poor, until my $3 million Rolls Royce blocked their driveway. I'll be honest, I didn't plan for any of this. I wasn't trying to prove a point, flex on anyone, or orchestrate some billionaire-level revenge fantasy. I just wanted dinner with the woman I'd been dating for almost a year. But life has this dark sense of humor, and sometimes the most humiliating night of your life becomes the most clarifying one, too. My name's Marcus. I'm 33, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that people reveal who they are when they think you have nothing to offer them. I met Natalie at a street fair in Boston. She was eating a giant fried dough, powdered sugar everywhere, laughing at herself, and I swear I fell a little in love right then. She liked that I was simple, grounded, normal. I took her at face value, never questioning that maybe she meant safe or unintimidating. I didn't flaunt money. I didn't even hint at it. After selling my software company for more money than I could process, I deliberately went quiet. No flashy car, no luxury condo, just a modest apartment near the Charles River and an old Honda Pilot I genuinely liked because nobody gave it a second glance. I dressed in hoodies, kept my watch collection hidden in a safe, and told everyone I did freelance IT consulting, which, again, wasn't a lie, just not the whole universe of truth. For the first 6 months, things with Natalie were wholesome. Movie nights, homemade pasta, weekend walks. She never asked about money, and I stupidly took that as a sign she wasn't like the others I'd met in my 20s. Then she invited me to dinner at her parents' house. 2-story colonial, perfect landscaping, a white mailbox that looked like it judged strangers. I brought a bottle of wine, nothing flashy, just a decent red. The minute her father opened the door, I knew I'd made a mistake. He gave me a tight, polite smile and then glanced at my Honda in the driveway like it was leaking oil onto his soul. Inside, everything felt like one of those catalog homes where nobody actually lives. Her mother asked me, "Where do you summer?" Like it was the most normal question on earth. I said, I usually hiked upstate or visited my brother. The silence that followed was thick enough to butter bread with. Then came the interrogation. What I did, how much I made, whether freelance IT was stable, why I hadn't secured property yet, why I lacked long-term professional vision. Natalie just sat there frozen, offering me tiny apologetic looks that did nothing to stop the avalanche. When dessert came out, her father finally dropped the bomb. "Look, son," he said, swirling his wine, "my daughter has ambitions. We raised her to expect a certain standard of life. It's not personal, but she needs someone who can provide security, stability, a future. You seem like a hard-working kid, but realistically, you're not in a position to support someone like her." Someone like her. I felt something crack, but not break. I stayed polite. I swallowed every prideful impulse and thanked them for dinner because my dignity wasn't going to bleed out on their polished hardwood floors. But when I turned to Natalie, hoping she'd defend me, she just whispered, maybe we're not at the same place in life. No confrontation. No support. No, Dad, stop. Just a quiet surrender. She walked me outside, saying we should take a break, and as I reached my car, her dad appeared behind her, wearing that smirk people get when they think they've won. "Nothing personal," he repeated. "Just economics." It took everything in me not to laugh, because the strangest part of having money is how the world assumes you're poor if you don't shove it in their faces. And I never want to be the guy who used wealth to humiliate someone, but being silently humiliated, that was something different. It wasn't revenge I felt rising in my chest. It was truth, a truth I'd ignored for months. Natalie liked me because she thought I was safe, manageable, unimpressive. The next morning, I got a call I'd been waiting on for weeks. The custom Rolls Royce La Rose Noir droptail I ordered months ago, one of only 4 in the world, had finally arrived. $3 million of engineering, craftsmanship, and absurd indulgence. I bought it for myself as a trophy of survival after years of building a company that nearly destroyed my sanity. It wasn't meant for show. It was meant for me. But that afternoon, as I drove it home, the GPS rerouted me because of blocked local streets. And guess whose street it was? Natalie's parents lived at the end of a cul-de-sac, which meant the only way through was straight past their house. and the car took up almost the entire lane. When I turned onto the street, neighbors literally stepped outside to stare. This wasn't a car, it was a moving sculpture. Deep black, paint so glossy it looked like liquid. Crimson interior. Engine purring like a lazy dragon. And there they were. Her father watering the lawn, her mother arranging something by the mailbox, and Natalie standing in the driveway in workout clothes. All three of them froze. Her father actually dropped the hose. The water arced across the lawn like a sad fountain. I slowed, not to show off, but because the car was low and the street uneven. But the effect was dramatic. The drop tail glided to a stop directly in front of their driveway, the sunlight hitting the paint so sharply it reflected their stunned faces back at them. Natalie took a step forward, eyes wide, mouth open. Marcus? What is this? Her father squinted, like he was trying to force my car to downgrade itself by sheer willpower. That can't be yours. I rolled the window down. Calm, polite. Same tone he used when he dismissed my entire future. Morning. Sorry for blocking the driveway. The turning radius on this thing is a nightmare. He swallowed. Hard. What do you do exactly? I gave him the real answer this time. I built Meridian Systems. We sold last year. His face went sheet white. Meridian? The logistics network. Yep. Natalie stepped closer, eyes softening like she was watching a long-lost opportunity rise from ashes. Why didn't you tell me? She whispered. I held her gaze. Because I wanted someone who liked me for me. But last night proved that you and your parents only respect a version of me that spends $3 million proving a point. Marcus, that's not fair. No, I said softly. What wasn't fair was you letting them tear me apart while you sat there saying nothing. Her father tried to recover, smiling weakly. Marcus, why didn't you come inside? We may have misjudged. I cut him off gently. You misjudged exactly right. You saw a man without status and decided he had no value. I'm just giving you the courtesy of knowing how wrong you were. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't gloat. I didn't offer them a second chance. I put the car in gear, the engine humming like velvet. Before pulling away, I added, Don't worry, I'm not here for Natalie. Just passing through, and I drove off. No dramatic exit. No roaring engine. Just quiet, expensive calm. That night, I parked the Rolls Royce in my garage, put my Casio back on, reheated leftover pasta, and took the first deep breath I'd taken in months. Because wealth doesn't fix heartbreak. But clarity? That changes everything. 2 weeks later, I met someone at a coffee shop, Rachel, a school counselor who laughed at my dumb jokes and didn't care what I drove. She didn't even blink when I picked her up in a Honda instead of the Rolls. She just said, I like this car, feels real. And maybe that's the whole point. Some people fall in love with price tags. Some fall in love with possibilities. But the right person falls in love with you, even if you show up in a rusty Honda Pilot, smelling like leftover coffee and hope. And if someone ever rejects you for being too poor, just remember, your value isn't measured by what's in your driveway, but by who stands beside you when they think you have nothing.